Rana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. I hope you're all well. We've made it to the Atoll Championships, the Polynesian Atoll Championship. I mention it pretty much every season, because normally what it does is it decimates the squad just before we start the season. For the first few games of the season, we've normally got like 14 odd players off playing for the national side, normally the Austral Islands. We've lost quite a lot of players again to the Austral Islands, a few to Tahiti, and then one to each of the other teams, I think. So it's close to about 20, I think, we've lost this time. But it's okay, because we're playing in it this time as well. We're Marquesa. This is going to be our opportunity to see if we can get some international silverware. Not particularly wonderful national silverware, but it's the local important competition. It's the bragging rights for the season to come. Internationally, especially when there's not like the World Cup qualifiers or the Nations Cup going on. So the Austral Islands and Bass Islands have already played each other and they've got a draw, and now we've got Gambier next. Just before we get into that, I just want to show you something. You might have noticed it on my Twitter if you've been following that. Oh, why is he not there? That's bizarre. Basically, I took a screenshot of it. Oh, never mind. I took a screenshot of it, and Brazil offered me £36,000 a week to take over Brazil, which I think's a little bit odd, considering we may have won the OCL, but it's the Oceania Champions League. It's not. I don't think De La Vega's done enough to earn the Brazil job. Not yet, anyway. Give it a bit of time. So obviously I rejected that. Which is a bit of a weird international offer. So here's our squad. We had a few issues because our under-23s were also playing games, and the under-23 manager got in before me and claimed some of the first team for that. Not a huge amount, but I think it's a couple of the keepers he claimed, which was potentially where we're going to fall down. We're going to stick with our 4-2-3-1 wide. We've got Bar up front, call back Mikel Jordan on the right wing, got Thomas on the left. Girardet is playing the shadow striker role because we've got 3 players suspended after that last match, Muglin, Huet and Guarins. If you remember, we got knocked out of the Nations Cup and we drew our last match against Tahiti, but we also had 3 players sent off. Yanin sending 2 of them off by just being too much of a handful. Then we've got Daniel and Miller in the defensive midfield positions, and then we've got Serg Delmas, Gross, Tisserand, and Gwendal all in there. And then we've got Hervheim, whatever, as goalkeeper. So I don't think we're going to do that well, to be honest. I think we're better than Gambier. I think we're better than Tuamotun. Everything else is bad. I'm not massively hopeful. Favourites for a reason. No one cares. Look at in training. We didn't. Let's see how this goes. If we start getting crushed, then I'll swap tactics to see how it works on the international side, but trying to keep the faith with this tactic if I can. Yanin has been called up again for Tahiti, but once again Gerard hasn't been. So he's been snubbed again, but otherwise no other real surprises with the kind of international selections. They've got Gambier have got Tamangara. I don't think he is their star player, but he's kind of their star player. Go on, Jordan. Tend to see if we could get Jordan for the humpbacks. So yeah, as an update, Pons left. His contract ran out and he left. I tried to get other teammates to talk to him to resolve his unhappiness even. But it didn't work. One of them didn't want to talk to him, the other one talked to him, didn't do anything. I kept trying to offer him contracts, didn't want to talk to me. He left. I immediately then tried to offer him another contract when he was on a free, but he said due to the nature of his departure, the acrimonious nature of it, he didn't want to come back. But he was only acrimonious because he made it that way, because he didn't want to play for us anymore. So we'll see what happens to him. At the moment, Waite and one of our backups, like Cameron Bell, are probably going to play. I did put in a bid for a player from Taha, looked quite tasty on the wing, but they wanted like 60 grand for him, and I don't have 60 grand. Keep working. Aubrey, the shadow striker position, otherwise not much else to do. Yeah, although we're one of the bigger sides now domestically, we've got a good wage budget. We don't have any transfer budget because we're in debt, paying back various loans on a stadium expansion that even if we fill, will take years and years to kind of recoup the $500,000 cost. I think we're still paying off, almost certain we're still paying off the loan from the very first expansion. Go on, Thomas. Aubrey's already got a yellow card. Interesting. It's speculative. I mean, it's a good goal. I'll give him that. I kind of wish we'd have got a bit closer to the goal. It's one of those kind of shots where there's nothing else on. They're quite close there. We'll take it. This is in a good position. Yeah, when I was looking through the players to kind of put in the squad for this, there's a real lack of depth internationally for Marquesa. Need to get a few more sides into where's that going? Nowhere. Need to get a few more sides into the Premiership so they can start to develop a little bit more. It stands, I think it's just Uapo and the Corollas. I think the Corollas are Marquesa. So Aubrey gonna have to go on his own. Absolutely no options from there. Don't have a full bench. Let's bring on Breton, even though it's a bit too far up for him. He looks adequate. Let's bring on Barthélemy for Tissard. Yeah. No exciting substitutions, no substitutions that I think are going to actually change the game in any meaningful way. Not positively, anyway. They might come on and do something horribly wrong, but... If anything, by taking off Kill Jordan and putting on that Le Breton, I've weakened the team, but... Go on, Bar. There we go. A few teams wanted to take him on loan. And I think if it was any other season, I'd be tempted to let him go out on loan, at least for half a season, and then bring him back for like the run-in at the end. But because I won't be there for the half season, well, I will be there for the second half of the season probably, I didn't want to let him go. I wanted to keep everyone, so I want to keep like a full squad so I've got all the options I need for the first half of the season when I'm actually doing stuff with the humpbacks. The new manager could do whatever they want after that. It's not been the most entertaining of games, but 13 shots to 3. They didn't get any on target, we shut them out. That's solid performance. Tahiti Societies drew as well, so interesting. Puts this in a nice position. There's plenty of other games to play, so I'll play a couple more. I'll probably make this into a two-parter for the Atoll Championship because we've got 5 games to get through. So I'll see you back for the next match, which is the Austral Islands. Alright, so we're back for the Austral Islands game. I think we sneaked a win against them when we played them in the Nations Cup. It might be a little bit different this time. We've still got these 3 out suspended, so we're going to go with pretty much the same team. Also, apparently we've been selecting people outside of the substitute list because it's not friendly, so we actually got a limited amount we can use, so next time I'll actually check that. Go up there and impress. Let us see how we do this time. So McCormick, who we know is good. Got McIntyre. They're not starting with our keeper. Got O'Leary on instead. McCormick and Spearling starting in the middle there. Narendonna's there. Narendonna's just moved to Maurice. They paid like £1,000 for him or something. Not bad for a 31-year-old player in this kind of league. It's not the big money players are going to start to go for. Go on, Girardet. Oh, Miller, that was a bit out there. Yeah, 1,000 is not a huge transfer budget, or transfer kind of outlay. But yeah, not bad. He's still doing the job. I was almost tempted to try and bring him in myself, but I think as I mentioned earlier on, we have no transfer. Go on, Thomas. Yeah, we have no transfer budget, so we couldn't compete even on that. But it would be nice. A little bit of nostalgia to bring him back. Go on, Bar. There we go. It's a good ball through. Kept getting asked wired. Included Gwendol Logier in the team by the press. And the real answer was just because all of the left backs are pretty bad. Like, he's the least bad of all the bad. That was a pretty good pass there. Uh-oh. Ty whips it in. Oh, that's alright. I don't understand why it's disallowed because Stefan was pushing someone else. He's our player. Should have stood, or it should have been a penalty because it really was. I'll go on Bar. That's an opportunity that's been missed there. That could haunt us a little bit. I think we might be able to squeak past the Austral Islands because their manager doesn't seem to know what he's doing. But Tahiti and the Bass Islands will be different. Tuamotun, I think we might get a result against as well. Oh, good save. He's not the keeper I wanted to start with, but he's done alright there. Let's keep this up. I think I mentioned at the end of one of the other videos as well that we are in the World Cup qualifying section. And I said at the time, so that means we'll carry on into November with them. But actually, depending on how the Atoll Championship goes, I might leave. Just so that I can concentrate on the domestic side for a bit. Also, I can maybe see if I get offered the Austral Island job if it comes around again at some point. Or the Tahiti job would be good. But probably just so I can focus on the domestic contest round. Oh, that was a good... It looked good from that angle anyway. Straight from this angle again, that's fine by me, it looked quite nice. Tisserand just glances it. I mean, it's poor goalkeeping actually, isn't it? But if we keep this up, then the Australians won't ever want to actually hire me. Too bitter. Get rid. Right, Aubryon Shadow Striker again. Breton again for Mikel. And yeah, do that. Same subs as before, pretty much. I mean, we're playing before all the other teams, so it really will depend what happens with them. But after this match, we'll play the next one, which I can't remember who it's against. We'll find out after this, but I think we might have a very difficult last game. Yeah, coast offside. I think we've either got Bass or Tahiti is the last game, which will make it quite interesting. Skies it. He needs to be a bit closer. He's not edge of the area long distance. He's in the box, I think, is Bar. There we go, one more. Stats-wise, it's a bit closer than the scoreline made it look, but they never really threatened that much. So who do we have next? We have Tuamotun, and then we have... Oh no, we've not. Sorry, we've got Tahiti. So we'll play the Tahiti match next, and then Bass Islands at the end. Alright, so we're back for the match against Tahiti Societies, still sticking with this tactic. These players are still suspended. I'm worried now that they're suspended for the entire thing, because I did get a news item saying they would miss the competition, but then I was still able to select them. I just thought they'd be suspended for like 1-2 games because of the red cards, that's about it, but it's a little worrying. 2, 3, 4. Missing someone who's trying to... There, that looks like a proper bench. And again, we're going to go with this 2 outside the squad, so... Let's get rid of the keeper. Mentioned it in a different video, I think. Actually, I think I mentioned it in the Super Cup video, which is the match we just played, which hopefully you've not seen any clues about, because I'm going to release it after this one, even though just to the order of the competition. So they've got Jordan and Martin up front, Mercier, Roger, Rousseau and Pons, the traitor, Torahia, Masson, Mara, Hume and Jacques. Very similar to the team we played in the Oceania Nations. They've got De Freitas, Jacques and Andre on the bench that we know about. Andre is obviously our Andre and he's good. And Yanin isn't on there, and I don't think he's injured. Otherwise he'd have been back in our squad for the Super Cup. We're the underdogs, fine with that. Got a draw against them last time and 3 red cards. There's no Yanin, so Yanin can't draw any red cards out of us this time. Does kind of say to me that they're not being managed very well if they've left out Yanin for this one. Or they're convinced they can beat us. They don't need him, they're resting him for other matches. That's what they can do if... Oh, what? Amazing. The keeper completely messes up, and Jordan manages to hit the post, and it bounces out. That's such a let-off. Here's the table here. If it stays as a draw, which it might do if we get a bit of luck like that, we're joint top with 7 points. We'll have to see how this goes, because they're looking like they're going to beat us. They're playing better than us already, and it's only been 15 minutes or so. There we go. Free kick. Not the greatest keeping, but then we've not got the greatest goalkeeper. We don't need to see that again. No shots as yet. And that changes the picture, so it's between Tahiti and the Bass Islands then. We've got Tuamotun and the Bass Islands, which we'll have in the next video, otherwise this one will go on for far too long. I think we'll beat Tuamotun, I don't know about the Bass Islands. Apparently we've had some shots now, but shot not any that were good enough to actually see. And they're obviously a good side. They have the biggest player pool. They've got Ace Chance pumping out these youth players. Until recently, they were the dominant side in the title race and in the OCL. The Eels and Bora Bora and so on. The Sky Brights. Taha. They're showing. I'm going to change the tactics. I'm going to go to the just keep swimming version. For Thomas. Aubrey for Girard Day. See how that goes. Because we'd managed 2 shots, only 1 on target all that half. Something a bit more productive if we're trailing a goal. Gambier Islands, rock bottom. Austral Islands haven't had a great international run, even though they've got a reasonable pool to select from because of our success. But that said, it's only mainly coming from us. Union Rimatara and Naruto are the only other 2 Austral sides, and they're not fantastic. Let's bring on the Breton. We've not really been in this match. We have been anonymous at best. Had 1 mistake that we were let off, and then a free kick against us. I think a loss is slightly harsh. It's not amazingly harsh. It's not completely unexpected. Hans the traitor. Okay. There's still hope. Not a huge amount, but there's a little bit. If we can beat the Bass Islands, we can beat Tuamotus, then kind of relying on Tahiti to drop points somewhere. But we will come back in the next episode for that. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this episode's not too long.